crafters. I'm showing off our new Tethered Hearts Striplet today, and we can do a lot of different things with this one, so I thought I'd just show you kind of a stair-step version with this card. The dies we'll be using today include the new Tethered Heart Striplet. On the focal element, I'm going to be using the Austrian Collection Innsbruck die, and from our first release, I'm going to be using the California Collection Decorative Frames A and B. So let's get started. We're going to do a bit of cutting to begin with. So I'm going to take my tethered heart, which comes in two separate pieces. You have an inside cutting decorative edge and an outside edge that cuts the design out. We'll be using both of them today. And we're going to tape this into place. Center this right in the center. And get that around the edge there. And we'll just put a couple of pieces of removable tape on there. Place this on to our cutting mat with the cutting edge down and the base plate on top, and we'll run it through the ground caliper. There's a bit of detail to this one, so you may need a second pass. Let's just check it. Just a tiny bit right there. So what I do is I turn it a different direction so that the die will go through a completely different area and cut solidly through. Now the cracking you hear periodically is perfectly normal. That's the die going into the cutting plate. There we go. I tell you what, let's also do. Let's bring out the beauty with this one with a little bit of embossing. So let me get my plates here. Got my tan embossing mat, and I'm going to cover it with my pink embossing plate. And we'll run that back through the ground caliper. There we go. And I'll show you just how pretty this comes out. Move everything out of the way, and let's untape our die. Now, I did this in the center because this is where I would start with my aperture here for the card we're making, and then we would put two on the other side. I have one that I've already done ahead of time with some mounting foam, so I'm not actually going to use this one, but that was the thinking behind showing it in the middle. So there's your cutting edge. That one comes off. We'll put that back onto our magnetic sheet and just peel this right off the die. Look at how pretty that is, and you can see all that beautiful detail that comes through when you emboss it. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and set this up with a bit of mounting foam so that it's onto a frame background. I've used some Cosmic Shimmer white PVA glue dots. I've done a little bit of matting with some Dusty Rose card because we're going to be using that color into our center. And I've got areas here that I've gone ahead and cut the striplet out and put a little bit of mounting foam. Now I've done a white on white here, so I've cut this piece and then I've gone back in with just this cutting edge here and cut a solid piece to go behind it. We're going to pop that into place right on the edge of the card, and we'll do the other side. So now I'm getting that stair step look going. Let me just make sure I'm straight there. And I'm going to put a little bit of Cosmic Shimmer glue on the back of this one, recess it down into that design that we've left there. So it's got quite a bit of area here. You can run your glue around. Make sure it's nice and caught and stuck down there. A few more little drops in places. And remember all your little swirly bits. And be sure to put a little bit of glue on those too. That's looking pretty good. Okay. Now, if you've got any really big pieces of, like globby glue, then just take your finger and rub them over them and spread them out a little bit. And this will fit right down into that recessed die cut that you originally did and give you a really pretty look with it. Okay, so now I've got the base of the card sorted. We're going to start in on our focal element. Okay, we'll set this off to the side, and we're going to do a little bit more cutting. I'm using the Innsbruck for the center of this, a little piece of Dusty Rose card, and we will set this up. Now I've got a decorative insert with a cutting edge, so I'm going to line those two up and tape them into place. Just get them centered. And I've got my sentiment already stamped out, and we are going to use the California Collection Decorative Set A here to cut this one out with. So we might as well just set that up and put that through at the same time. There we go. Bring back our cutting plates. Pop that in, put that down, and run that back through our grand caliper. Now the label shape will cut easily. The Innsbruck has a bit of detail, so let's see how we did with this one. I will turn that one, and we will pop that through one more time. In fact, let's just even go backwards. We can do a quick trip up and back. That looks pretty good. I'm going to do some embossing. Change that out, put the tan mat and the pink plate on top. There we go. And let me take that out for you. Just undo your tape. And put our pieces back. So you've got a lot of little bits here that just need to be knocked out. See how pretty this one is. I'll tell you what, I won't spend a lot of time knocking all those out, but I will show you the one I've done earlier. And I used the cutting edge with a piece of white card and just put that behind it to really bring out the beauty. But you can see what a pretty die that is. So we'll pop that to the side. We can use this one for another card later on. Now, I did cut the thanks, and I'm going to do a little bit of inking. I've chosen some Victorian Velvet Distress ink for that. There we go. And making sure that my tape isn't sitting into my die cut, I'm just going to go in a little circular motion, picking up a tiny bit of ink around the edge and bringing it into that die cut. The die forms a void, so you have a really pretty white edge there with the pink showing on the inside of the die. Here we go. Tiny bit more on this side, I think. Okay, pop that one out. Don't forget to take your dies off so you can see how pretty that comes out. And just a little bit of inking around your sentiment really makes it pop. So I'm going to use some mounting foam on the back of this here. And we'll do some layering. I like the way that the different sets mix and match together and have such a pretty little accent edge. And that's exactly how I designed these, so that you would have a beautiful matte frame coming out. So if you use the A and the B set of the California collection together, you get that. But I think it also looks really, really nice on top of some of the more decorative elements too. So put this into place here, and you've got just a gorgeous bit of design coming out from underneath that. And we'll go ahead and seat that into the center of our card. And I've got some mounting foam on the bottom just because I have that little recessed area there. And I think that's absolutely stunning. Now the only thing I've done to finish this off on the original card was I've added some faux pearls around just to give it a little bit extra added dimension.